Nobody has a perfect record. People lose games from the pros to us normal folk on the daily. Losing happens from champion to copper. Everyone has lost multiple games. It doesn't mean you can't tip the scale on how many times you win versus losing. What is it that you are doing on what is your team's doing that make you lose as often as you do? You feel like you are a good player that could be a plat or diamond player, but you're sitting in silver. Now, what can you do to improve? What's the problem? Well, in today's video, someone whom has been plat a few times will tell you how to get better at the game and help you out on winning and losing. The first thing I'll say is, are you a solo player and why? That's a big thing, that why. Now, if you're a solo player, it isn't because you don't have friends that play Siege, or is because your personality makes people not want to play with you. If you're not just a solo player. There's a reason why you play solo. Again, it's either because you don't have friends who play the game, or because you yourself is what keeps people from playing the game with you. Those are things that you should consider. I recently hosted an LOG that the target for the LOG was solo players. Went on Xbox, made a post that said, if you're a solo player, I will make a consistent team for you to play with, and we can win some games. I had some guys that said they solo queue a lot because the randoms, they lose games. Randoms are bad. That's a typical excuse when it comes to Siege. Usually when someone has a pretty bad rank, it's because the randoms. It's not because of them. It's because they have bad teammates. So that's the usual excuse. But there were two people that stuck out to me. One guy said he's a low silver, damn near bronze, because his teammates weren't any good. Now, I call bullshit. Why? You can't always blame your teammates, and I'll touch on that a little later in the video, but sometimes you might lose because of yourself. And at first, I believed him, until the game started getting going, and we were in a 2-2 at the time. It was a 2-2 tie. So at first, though, that's not how it, let's backtrack a little bit. We were out 2-0, then we dropped 2 rounds. This guy quit. Yes, the game went from 2-0 to 2-2, and he just quit. Which is why I started to say, his excuse for his rank is bullshit. This dude was a low rank because he abandons games, not because what his teammates do or don't do, but because he leaves. Things aren't looking good for him because of that. Now, my team still won the game regardless of us being a man down. So that guy quit, took an MMR hit, he got an abandoned penalty for it, he also got abandonment on his record. In a game where the team he quit still won. So he lost all that and got punished for it in a game that we won. That tells me that this guy who walks around, he goes to LFGs and he tells people, my rank is bad because my teammates are bad. It's not because his teammates, because he quits games. He quits whenever it looks like things aren't going his way. If you are a quitter, you are never going to rank up. So if you watch this video right now and you're someone who quit games in Siege, that's why you're not ranking up, because you're quitting. The second person that stuck out to me was this kid. And I say kid because, yes, he was a child. He had to be under 16. Now, usually I don't play with kids, but I'm trying to not be an asshole. Now, this kid would not stop talking, constantly talking and bossing people around till he about how to play the game, the backseat game and the full thing. Newsflash, we already see why you're a solo player. Nobody wants to game with someone that acts like everyone's boss and demands they do things. No, there's a difference between giving callouts and bossing people around. When you are a kid telling a party of adults how to play the video game, that's gonna rub people the wrong way. So if you're a kid watching this video, do not join an LOG of people who you don't even know, telling them how to play the game, telling them what to do. So this kid who won't stop talking, he's talking way too much, is complaining nonstop, complaining that the other team is using Jackal and their Jackal is so bad, complaining that the other team is using Ella's shotgun and how cheap it is for her to be using that shotgun. And just nonstop talking, it was getting annoying. He was a toxic player. He ruined the team's experience. We were all annoyed by this kid. That's why he's a solo player. Because he's annoying, because he's toxic. You have to ask yourself, why are you a solo player? What is it about you as a person that makes people not want to invite you to games? What is it about you as a person that makes people not want to add you on Xbox or PS4 or on Steam? Why do people who you play with not want to keep playing with you? It's not because they're bad, it's because of you. You have to look at yourself when it comes to situations. That's why you, and that's why him and the other guy were solo players. You see, being a solo player could be because of different things. But if you're a quitter or someone that's just annoying, people aren't going to want to play with you. It's possible that you just play solo because you like it. It's possible that you play solo because you're shy. You don't know how to connect with other people. You don't know how to socialize. So the next reason you might be losing games is, how is your team play? Your team calling out. Is your team calling out? Are you picking operators that you need to be are you picking operators that you need to be playing based on the map that you're on, based on the site that you're going to? Did you ban ops just because they were annoying, or because they actually would impact that game, that map, that playstyle that you guys are playing? This all matters. Now, I made videos before about operator bans, and when it comes down to it, a lot of players just go Jackal Blitz, Jackal Blitz, Jackal Blitz, and when it comes to defense, they just go Cav Echo, or Echo and Clash. Who you ban will dictate whether or not you win or lose that game. Stop banning Blitz because it's not smart. It's a dumb ban. Blitz has been nerfed to a point to where there's no reason for him to be banned. It takes forever for him to get his charges back. It takes him a full hour to ADS. You need to stop banning Blitz. And I've been talking about, Jackal is a situational ban. Depends on what map you're playing on, depends on the size of the map. Things no matter when it comes to banning Jackal. Echo is the only person in this game who's a guaranteed ban no matter what. Because he's just an irritating person to deal with. Not just that, he's also very strong in bomb. And you can only play bomb in ranks, so therefore Echo is too strong in the game. So bans matter. It matters who you're banning. If you're playing on Villa and you're playing in Games Room and you're gonna be running a mirror strat, you should be banning freaking Twitch. That way mirror doesn't have to deal with Twitch the entire game. If you're playing on Shalette, you should be banning Thatcher. That way you don't have to deal with Thatcher the entire game. Speaking of Shalette, playing some Bill Garage and nobody brought a bandit or Kate, and y'all lost the round. The reason isn't because your teammates were bad, it's because you didn't bring the utility to win the game. Your utility matters. Bringing the right utility for a site, for a map, matters a lot. Again, some Bill Garage, you need to have bandit or Kate or both. And if you don't bring either of them, or you just bring one of them, that's going to make you lose. Especially if your bandit isn't good at bandit tricking. Especially if your bandit just abandons the site. You need to have your bandit, you need to have your Kate, you need to have your mute on site to keep that garage door from going down. If you lost that round, think about that. Think about what went into you losing that round. Are you on border and nobody brought a Heart Reacher and Thatcher? Now you lost the round because you have nothing to take down the walls to arsenal lockers or the walls from office to archives. These things matter. It might be why you lose as often as you do. Do you take too many roamers? Is your team taking too many heavy hitters on offense? As in your team is looking like Ash, Buck, Math, Finka, and Twitch instead of Thermite, Thatcher, Sophia, Capital, and Gridlock. These things matter. You have to have a balanced operator pick. You can't just be picking all people who can just frag in and get a bunch of kills. You need to be picking based on the site that you're on, the maps that you're on. Utility matters, all that matters, and how you play the game matters. Does your team adjust after losing a round, or do you just keep doing the same thing over and over again? If you lost that round, you lost for a reason. Going back to the same site with the same operators, with the same game plan, will result in the exact same outcome, a loss. Even if you do go back to the same site, adjust your operator picks, change the game plan a little bit. If you lose by having 4 roamers and 1 anchor, switch to 2 anchors, 2 roamers, and 1 person who's just kind of floating around. Adapt other play styles into your game plan. I always say I'm a very, very versatile player. I don't have a main. I pick based on who I think we will need and who I think will be effective on that map and on that site that we're going to be going on. If you want to rank up not only to gold but past gold, you need to be able to play any op in the game at any given time and plug that into any strat at any time. Meaning, learn how to play vertical with Buck and Sledge. Learn how to play vertical with Valkyrie and Pulse. The best I can give you is go watch pro leaguers, go watch current and former pro players like Pingu and King George, and see what they are doing to win and win often, and try to adapt that to your play. No, you're not a pro player. No, you're not Pingu. No, you're not King George. No, you're not Fabian. No, you're not Shaka. No, you're not Shroud, and no, you're not Macy J. No, you're not Bolo. However, you can watch what they're doing and adapt the best that you can to your play style, to your game, and use it what you see as tools to get better and to win games. Be open-minded. Don't be toxic. Don't be selfish, and don't be annoying. Those are things that would dictate whether or not people will want to play games with you to begin with, let alone play Siege with you. Stop constantly blaming other people for why you lose. It doesn't matter how many kills you got. Maybe something that you did result in someone else getting killed. You can be 10-5 with Bandit, but because you are incompetent when it comes to Bandit tricking, your team lost that round. Play like a team, not like 5 people who are solo. Play like a team, not play like 5 solo players on one team. Don't blame one person for your loss. Maybe the other team was just better than you. Maybe it was a team fail. Don't just pick out the guy who went 1-4-6 and say it's his fault, because it's a 5v5 game with at least 4 rounds needed to be won. Meaning, even if one person doesn't show up in the kill stat, the other 4 players are a factor in whether or not you win or lose. I've seen a lot of games where people who won had a teammate who had 0 kills, and they just got carried by 2 or 3 people. So the person at the bottom of the leaderboard, it's not just his fault, it's the entire team's fault. It's other decisions, it's lack of callouts, it's operator picks, it's operator bans, it's the sites you're going to. There's more to it than just it's one person's fault. And lastly, playing support isn't a bad thing. If you know you aren't good at the game, play support roles. Take all this into account, and you'll win more games. Obviously, if you're still going to lose games, that's inevitable. You're going to lose games, but a positive win-loss ratio is better than. But a positive win-loss ratio in plat tier and higher can be had if you take these things into account. You don't have to be a silver or a bronze forever. You don't have to be stuck at gold 3 forever. With all that said, guys, this video thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, leave any thoughts you have in the comments below. I'll catch you guys next time. Have a good day. Peace out. Oh, but hit like a motherfucker. Should have had her fucking dead to rights. Hit.
Yeah. She's one tap. Could be.
Ping, Habana. Nice.
Was chasing her for a minute.
B. Ash and B.
Bro, how is Ash not dead, bro?
Oh, nice. Ash is on corner.
The one's to my left.
She's like, yeah, nice.
Hey, you go back where you were. There's thermite. I hit him. Tagged him. There we go.
Thermite's down. That was carrier.
Nice.
You can't do that with this shit alive.